Okay, I think we're live. Hi, I'm Grace. Grace Peck. I am a trainer here at Synergy Behavior Solutions, and I'm here to talk today about chicken training. Um, so I just want to make sure that everybody is set up. If you can see, give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, awesome. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about chicken training. I'm going to be hosting a class, a 3-week class on chicken training in a few weeks, or soon. I just wanted to give people a little bit of a taste for what this is all about. So the biggest thing with chickens is that they're both a prey and a predator animal. And I want to focus a little bit more today on the prey part because they're a prey animal, they tend to be skittish about novel objects. And that's something that we need to work on in the beginning to get them conditioned to a lot of the training that we want to do. Because if they're scared of training in general or scared of some of the training equipment that we're using, then not a lot of training is going to happen. So, based on that, I want to start off with a couple things that my chickens have never seen before and give them a little bit of conditioning to that. We talk about it in terms of classical conditioning and desensitization and habituation for all of you training geeks who are out there watching today. But for all of you who are not training geeks, the most important thing to remember is just that we're exposing them to something that they've never experienced before and pairing that with something that they really like. So in this case, we're going to be using treats. I have a couple different types of treats here. One is sunflower seeds, so black oil sunflower seeds. And then another one is grub. Oh, hey, Taylor. And Kona's touch. Yay, chickens. Yes, yay, chickens. Yeah, we're going to be using a couple different types of treats. And so that's also one of the things that you want to do again before you start training is figure out what your learner likes. So some chickens are willing to work for just their pellets or their crumble, and other chickens want something a little bit more high value. So sometimes I'll use the sunflower seeds, other times I'll use the grub, partly depending on the time of day and the chickens, their individual preferences. Some of them like raisins. So that's one of the questions that I often get is, what can you use to motivate chickens? Um, for my chickens, a lot of them just like training in general. So when they see that there's a pen out and when I've got the clicker going, they'll all sort of swarm. And you might actually see some of that today. So just to give you a heads up, you might see a lot of chickens, or at least five of them, the five that I have. Just be sure to meet the learner where they are and let them tell you what's going to motivate them. Uh, Another thing is to meet the learner where they are in terms of how comfortable they feel with the training. So if they're a little skittish about just training in general or getting close to you, then that's where some of this classical conditioning is going to come in super handy. So enough talking, let's jump in a little bit. One of the things that I'm going to do is in the beginning is just introduce them to some novel objects. And some of the things that I've brought out today are things that you would see in a vet environment. So things like needles, syringes, butterfly catheters. So things that they have never seen these things before, and they're not things that you would normally have lying around the house, but I found out that they're super interesting and helpful if your chickens ever get sick and do need a vet visit or do need, for example, some oral medications, because then they won't be afraid of it the first time you try to use it. And I found that out with my own chicken, Pele, when she was really sick a few weeks ago and I had to take her into the vet. And she actually perked up more at the vet and ate more at the vet than she did here at home. So let's get training. Let's put this down here. Let's see who's going to come in for training today. Huh? Who's coming in? Anyone? Oh, while we're waiting for someone to come in, one of the things that I want to talk about is equipment. So you want a pet. Oh, Chickpea. Wow, okay. So Chickpea is my most skittish chicken. This will be really interesting. She's also the one that I got the latest and do the least amount of training with. So we'll really see from the beginning how things are going to go. So here I have my sunflower seeds, and I have a little, this is just a makeshift measuring cup that I super glued some a clipper onto. You can just use a regular clipper. But I'm going to start with just conditioning the sound of the clipper and pairing it with treats. So there we go. So I did 5 times. I didn't ask for any specific behavior, just asking her to understand that the click means a treat. And you can see that she's already giving me a lot of attention now. So let's try that one more time. Oops, you got a jackpot. Yeah, one more time. There you go. Okay, so here's a novel object. He has never seen this before. This is a large syringe, and I use a large one right now just because it's easier to see from the camera. But I'm going to introduce this, and then... I can't hear you. Oh, I'm going to introduce this, and then... ooh, see, she was skittish. So I'm going to introduce this and then give her a treat. I'm not going to click right now. I just want to let her know that the presence of the syringe is a treat. So novel object, treat. Novel object, treat. Okay? All right. Ready, Chickpea? Here. There we go. And you can tell that by, even after 5 repetitions, she was actually paying attention to the syringe. She wasn't going up to it. I don't want her to peck at it, because when we actually have a procedure, if she pecks at it, then that'll be really distracting. But I just want her to get comfortable with it. So let's try that again. This is the second time that she's ever seen this in the last 5 minutes. Ready? Okay, and this time I started clicking because what I was trying to click for was for her getting approaching, like looking at, paying attention to, and starting to approach the syringe. Oh, I don't know if you saw that, but Henny was mugging me from behind through the bars. Nice, Henny. So that's one novel object. Um, so this is not a novel object, but I have all of these colored dots that I've been using for my clippings. And again, Chickpea does not have very much experience with training with this. So this is probably my third or fourth training session, and you can see that Chickpea is really skittish. She gets scared with any kind of fast approach really quickly, but she does know now that I have the treats here. So what I'm going to do is use this as a target for her. That'll be the beginning of stationing. I want her to approach this and then eventually stand on it. So here we go. Nice. Okay, and then I'm going to toss some treats away. So, and then I'm also going to put the dot away because I don't want her to notice the dot if I'm not ready to reinforce it. So this is, like I said, probably the third or fourth time that I've trained with her on this dot. And you can tell once she saw the dot and really noticed it, she was actually already going towards it. So let's try it one more time. So she already has a positive association. just standing on this. And then I want to move her away, and then take away the gun. So, technique. One more thing that I want to do is, it's not just sights. So right now, we're working on sights, but I want to also work on smells. So this is alcohol, and in a lot of veterinary settings, we use alcohol, and the smell of it can be really aversive to a lot of animals. So I'm going to let her get close to this, and hopefully that'll condition her to smell the smell of alcohol, and then and associate the smell with something good. So. Good job, Chickpea. So again, this is the first time that she's ever smelled alcohol, as far as I know. And this is also the first time that she's ever seen a cotton ball. So that went really well. And then one other thing is sound. So the sound of, for example, a wrapper opening. They're already familiar with the sound of the treats. And this, shaking this, a lot of you chicken people already know, the sound of that will get the girls running. But I also want to get them used to the sound of medical equipment opening. So here. And you can tell that Chickpea was getting really used to the smell, the sound, all of this. And Chickpea is actually one who is more prone to noise aversion, so the fact that she wasn't startling to this noise is a really good thing. Okay, Chickpea, I'm going to let you go out into the world. Oops. And Henny is a really interesting character. I'm actually going to move out of this area. You can tell that all the chickens are really used to training in this area. Here. There we go. So they're used to training in this area. So you can tell as soon as I open the gate, they're coming in ready to train. What I want to do is actually talk about stationing for a second. And one of the things that I do to station is have them come up onto my arm. So let's see. This is my cue, moving my fist. There's nothing in my fist. I'm not luring with treats. But doing this with my fist is my cue for them to come up somewhere, and onto my arm is where I want them to come up. So, here, Pellet, here. Ready? Oops. Oops. I think that might be too high for Pellet. Here, let's lower this, and let's see. Pellet, you want to come up? No. Henny? Not enough room. Anyone? Here we go. Oh, so Henny is different from most of my other chickens in that she actually prefers to fly up onto my shoulder or my head instead of onto my arm. So here. Will you come over here? No, she won't. Not today. But I want to reinforce her for where she is because I want her to station here, which means that if she's here, I can move her around to different places. If I have this place, which is her stationing place, in a different area, then she'll come to this place. So it can either be my arm, or sometimes I'll use like a bone or a log. So just FYI. All right, we're getting to the end of the time. Let me go to our chats and see if anybody has any questions? Okay, no questions. All right. Oh, what are you using as treats? So I'm using sunflower seeds right now because all the girls love it, and it's just these black oil sunflowers. Oh, you can't even see them. These black oil sunflower seeds. Um, so you can also use raisins. You can use here, honey. Here you go. Some people use grub. What else? If you have long sleeves on, will she land lower? Nope. If I have long sleeves on, she will still land on the same place, either on my shoulder or on top of my head. Any other questions? So Henny's funny that way. The other girls will, yep, see, there she goes. Any other questions? The other girls will go to wherever this cue is. Okay, well, if anybody does have any other questions, then you're welcome to email us at info@synergy.com. Oh, synergybehavior.com. Info@synergybehavior.com. And I will have a chicken training class, a 3-week class called Training Soup for the Chicken Soul. So check out our website and see what the dates are. And I hope to see you and your chickens there. And one more question that somebody asked is, can you do this with ducks or geese? Yes, you can. The principles are the same. Even if you have a parakeet, the principles are the same. You're still looking for very similar behavior amongst all or most birds. So yeah, any kind of bird, you're welcome to train. Okay, hope to see you in a future class. Bye.